of being here. I'm over here trying to like tell people actively now on my Instagram to go watch the weekly wind down. Let me post it. Boom, and it's in my story. Hey y'all! What up, though? Welcome to the weekly wind down, where we talk a little bit about pop culture, some things that's happening in the news, conversation, what's going on in the D, and one of the best things is I get to have a dope co-host every week, somebody that's doing some dope stuff in Detroit, or just has a dope brand or a dope event, or I just think it's a dope person that you will want to know. And today we have
Ianta.
I love her name. And see, I had to know I do it to her because I'm big about not messing up names.
Thank you.
Like literally in the show last week, I had to be like, Jimmy, what's her name? Say it. Like I know it, but say it. Do you have a nickname?
E.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one side of my family, they call me Nikki. Assuming it derived from my middle name, Nicole, but it's Ianta and everybody else calls me E.
Which one do you like? You like Nikki or E?
I like both.
You like both?
But now I'm Ianta. You have to call me Ianta until you get close to me to call me.
Then I'm calling her Ianta.
No,
she like
me
E. Right. Take it anyway. Disrespectful. And then of course my forever co-host. Wine.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I think it's dope to be able to have a show where you can kind of like just drink.
I love it.
In the middle of the day.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, this is really sweet.
That's sweet.
That's sweet. We all get through it. We're supposed to do Prosecco. E didn't tell me.
I didn't think about it.
She knew she was supposed to tell me. She didn't tell me. She didn't tell me, but that's okay. It's okay. So I want to get into telling people who you are. Today we're going to do the show a little bit different. We're going to talk about some national news.
Okay.
But I want to dive in to it a little bit deeper, especially, because I think it's kind of in alignment with your brand.
Okay.
So now, you're the CEO
yes.
and founder of the E Lane Group.
Right.
Yes. I love it. And what I love about it is like the small E with the dot. I love that. And then you have this really dope event that you do annually called the Social Runway.
Yes.
So I really want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk about the E Lane Group.
Perfect.
And tell me what it is.
So the E Lane Group is a fashion production company. So we host events throughout the year. Clients bring us in for different things just to kind of help them assist with their fashion, like say product launches, lines. If they're hosting a fashion show, like I might come in, just kind of help assist backstage with making sure everything runs smoothly. And I also host the annual event now for the Detroit Auto Show, or NIAS, North American International Auto Show.
Oh,
so I've been doing that for, I thought it was 10 years this year, but it's actually over that. Don't tell anybody. But I've also hosted a huge event for that too. So
what event?
So it's called the Auto Show Social, kind of tying in with the theme of the social runway, etc. Okay. And we just hosted. I try to find like a premier hotspot in Detroit. All the local people come in, but the big deal is all of our out-of-town guests, especially with this whole new Detroit. We can kind of show, hey, this is what's going on in our city, and we just hang out, play some good music, and drink some good drinks.
Wait, and that's been going on for 10 years?
Yeah, at least.
How come I don't know about this? Shade.
No, because it's cold and everybody at home, and most of the time we can just catch the people mover somewhere. Because I try to do it locally by whichever hotel most of my auto show peeps are staying at. But that's why it's okay.
Okay, I want to come. Can I come?
Yes.
Wait, now is it on like charity night preview?
No, or do it like a random night during the week because the whole thing is for auto show peeps plus my people in the city.
What do you mean by auto show peeps?
Okay, so
I'm getting all your business, right?
No, it's all good. So my regular job, if that's what you want to call it, my title is a product specialist.
Okay.
So I work for, I don't really want to say.
Right, you work for
an automotive company.
Brand.
And fellow coworkers that are product specialists or presenters or, booth vendors, etc. I host this event for them.
Oh, that's dope. You know what? So last charity preview, I met a gentleman that I think does the same thing, and he travels.
Yep.
So what I thought was so interesting is it's such a dope gig because you get to meet a lot of different people.
Yeah.
But so It's like a whole
it's
crew.
a crew
it's
of us.
Whole
Like
thing.
you know, you can see somebody 1 month at training and won't see them until the next year, or you can have every single city with them. So it's just kind of like auto show season starts actually now. Like I think Orlando is going on right now, and it'll run to probably April. New York is normally the last auto show. Yeah, you can like see somebody every city you have, or like I said, like
that's why I didn't know. It's like some underground special stuff. That's all right. I got the plug now. I'm gonna be there, especially since it's summer.
Yes,
I'm sure it's gonna be
live.
It's gonna be crazy. But anyway, so more importantly,
yes.
So you come in, you do a lot of fashion production things. Now, is it just strictly fashion, or is it beauty too?
Well, right now it's just strictly fashion because I love the behind the scenes for producing. Like I love like runway and photo shoots and models. So if any like it's what did you say? I'm sorry.
See, guess why?
We're live.
Look, when you pause, just pause and drink. Just be like, hold on, AJ, I need to take a sip.
Prosecco.
In our mind, we're gonna make it Prosecco.
Perfect.
Right. We're both like, oh, that's sweet.
We're both red wine drinkers. So
I don't know what I tried.
Well, she tried to switch it up.
I tried to do
something
something
fresh. It's beautiful outside today. Why not?
Right. So now you do fashion production, which led into this event,
Social Runway.
The Social Runway. So that's such an interesting name. So tell me about it.
So let me just say this really quick.
I like
about this one guy.
Like the tea.
This one guy I know. So, the Elaine group was kind of under like, let's say, a redevelopment, reconstruction, phase or whatever. And I know this guy that was like, you know what?
Who's this guy? I want to know.
We'll say my partner.
Your partner?
So then he says, he's like, you just need a really dope idea. You know what would be sweet if you like live stream a fashion show. And I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
So
why
of course,
just like
right? So all of a sudden I get this email, I get all these text messages. So like, I think it was Diddy did something back in the day, like Facebook, whatever. So I'm like, what? And so this guy partner, we just did it. Like, he's brilliant in his brain, and then I come in, the other end with the producing, and it just works. So that's the whole idea, because at the time, 3 years ago until now, social media. And I think everybody saw that first, because now all of a sudden everybody's doing their stuff live.
I mean, somebody has to be the person to kind of start, and they say imitation is the biggest form of flattery.
Yeah.
I don't like that, but I mean,
No.
so shout out to that guy.
That guy.
He sounds just like him. Very passionate.
He's great. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So that's how you came up with the idea. This is getting a little bit better.
Okay.
So you have it coming up. So social, from a perspective of live. Now, the one you did last year was so dope.
So dope, right?
So dope. It was
crazy.
It was in the
Can I tell
bell.
you about that idea really quick? Okay. Since we're just chatting.
Yeah, we're chatting.
Walked the guy. We're walking.
I'm gonna tell y'all who the guy is at the end of the show, so you have to stay tuned.
At 1:59.
Right.
So we're just walking one day, checking out the new Detroit. This was probably a couple of years ago, shortly after our first Social Runway. And I'm just walking down, and I'm like, oh my God, this would be so dope if somebody does a show here. Of course,
The guy.
that turned on the light bulb, and we just made it happen. So that was really fun and cool and random and fantastic, and the city came out. So
It was so. I was sick that week. I think that's why I couldn't make it, and I think I was sick. Too much going on. Body ran down, but I was so mad that I didn't make it because it was just so dope.
It was so good.
I mean,
Thanks,
because
everybody.
with the art lesson, the belt, and then having it and it being, such an open event. So one would say, how could you top that?
Ford Field.
Come on, Beyonce.
For sure. Ford Field.
So it's going to be at Ford Field this year.
At Ford Field. We'll be in the area called the Blitz. They have inside Ford Field, but it's just really.
What's the Blitz? When I was reading about it, I don't even know what that is.
You got to come and see.
Also,
You have to come and see.
No, give me an exclusive. Like,
Yeah.
no, okay.
No, you have to come. www.thesocialrunway.com.
coming. It's my first time at the Social Runway.
Yes. So the event starts at 6 o'clock, and what you'll expect there is just kind of a social hour. And I host a thing called the Showcase Hour, Showcase Designers. And what that is basically you'll come and see live mannequin modeling. So I like old school. Remember back in the day, like Marianne's and Winkleman's and Gintos.
Girl, get my life.
And when I was younger, that's what I used to see. Yes. So we'll incorporate that right about 7:30ish or so. We'll go into the runway segment, and from there we're hosting, Detroit talent. That's another thing about Social Runway is Detroit fashion.
Okay.
So we have designers such as, Ricker Tunisberg. Everybody knows him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the wonderful Sienna Tricks. She's amazing. I know who that is. Sienna. She's amazing. She just did Big Sean's video, providing the wardrobe for one of the main female
characters,
something, yeah.
Performers.
And then we also have international and national brands such as Under Armour, Moose Jaw. So it's just gonna be a good time.
I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. So we're gonna highlight that again. But where can people follow you and follow the Social Runway at?
You can follow me personally at _Ianta. Or the business at the Elaine Group, but the Social Runway at the Social Runway is covering everything about the event. This Sunday.
Just so you know, we're gonna recap that again, but it's this Sunday. So now I want to get into kind of a segue into, because you're talking about modeling.
Sure.
And there could be, or there has been, which I think is changing now, there has been this perspective of body image when it comes to modeling, or stereotypes. Sure. A model can only look like this, or a model can only be this person.
Sure.
So that has, and kind of what you said, playing off into the social part.
Right.
Since the world is such a social perspective, we're now having to deal with how social media affects us on a more mental level and on a deeper perspective. Yeah. Kind of targeting children first. So, have you heard, I'm going to read it specifically, have you heard that Instagram has implemented a new policy?
Yes.
So, for you guys who don't know, Instagram users under 18 will be blocked from seeing posts promoting certain cosmetic surgery and diet products. A spokesperson for Instagram said that it's about reducing the pressure that people can sometimes feel with using social media. Mm-hmm. So, and very specifically for people under 18, because it's such a developmental time, and kids can be cruel. So if you're on social media and you're seeing these different type of images and things, now what I didn't know, because when I first initially read the headline, I'm thinking, okay, just body perspective, you think this girl, or the Instagram models look a certain way. If you don't look that way, you have that effect. That's one layer. Okay. The additional layer that they're really kind of getting into a little bit further is the influencer movement. So being a person that has a brand on social media, same thing with you. Sure. There have been times that I have partnered with different people, a couple automotive brands and things as far as promotion is concerned. It's a very common practice. But they're kind of targeting right now Kim Kardashian. The Kardashians, and no shade to the Kardashians, but all of these detox teas that are out here, and it's Kim Kardashian, and you're okay, so I'm gonna go get this detox tea,
and I'm gonna look like her tomorrow,
or even in 30 days. It don't be happening.
Yes.
You be eating hamburgers at 1 a.m. at Cutter's, AJ. But that's my life. Fair enough. That's my life. But I think, especially with teenagers, if you don't have the reasoning yet. So, what do you think about the policy?
I reading up on it and everything. I like it. I think right in between that 13 to 17, 18 phase, it's just like you said. It's very influential. It's very they're still developing. So I guess I could kind of relate back to myself, kind of wanting to be in the industry and trying to get into the industry, and certain things that you see or you hear that you think will make you better. So, I mean, it's a big deal. And it was, I forgot the young lady's name that kind of started this whole movement.
I think it's,
what's her name?
It was in here. It is Jamila.
Yes.
Jamila Jamil.
Yes, and
Yes.
basically when she kind of started this movement, it seems like Instagram just jumped on board and said, we support it, we're in. But everything's social media now, so
Yeah.
you know.
So here's the thing. Let me be the devil's advocate.
Okay.
So we're not going to target certain perspectives as far as children are concerned. Is that kind of like too much big brothering though? Like, so I'm doing a slight tangent to come back. I think, and this could be my age and me being a little old school, you know, sometimes the generation could be more of the trophy kids, like participation awards.
Okay.
And I think that's the generation that would, please don't kill me. God, crucify me on Instagram, I'm fine. It's because everybody gets participation. You are great and you are amazing.
Yeah.
And you is almost a little bit too, I don't know, are we setting our kids up for not being able to handle the real world when it happens? So from this perspective, does it take off the hook of kids or parents having to monitor or having a conversation? So if it's never available, so what do you do when you turn 19?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you do? So now you're 19 and you can see all of this. Mm-hmm. What happens to that perspective? I'm not saying that it's not, you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not a good thing to do, especially for like 13, 14 years old. However, I think there's a conversation on a bigger scale that should happen because I get triggered by Instagram.
Yeah.
So what about, I think it's more of a thing of just Instagram and social media affecting us in general.
Yeah.
So are you affected by it? I mean, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
So do you feel triggered by social media at all?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, let's just be real. You know, sometimes you look at certain things and you wonder, why is that not me? Why am I not there? Why don't I look like that? You know? And I think for something with the kids like this, just kind of helping prevent something maybe, and it could just be higher, where let's just protect us as a brand, if we want to say that, but that's where parents need to have conversations and sit down, or if you don't want to talk about it, have the big sister or the auntie or the cousin talk to your kids about certain things, because eventually it's going to hit them. They're going to see it somewhere, but you know.
So devil's advocate again is devil's advocate day. It's the wine. It's making me think in very different ways. So should influencers be more responsible? Like Kim Kardashian, well, we know this detox tea didn't make you look like this though. Mm-hmm. You know, so as a tie-in,
sure.
Portia Williams, yes, recently had her baby.
Okay.
And she came out about how she feels like it's so much pressure
to snap back.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Partly because you do have people who are amazing. Like, I love Beyonce's documentary because she did snap back.
Okay.
But she showed all the sacrifice that came with snapping back. Mm-hmm. And part of it is she's a performer, it's part of her job. So I get that. But to the pressure for regular moms to just be out here like,
I don't feel like it.
Let me take this detox tea and I'm going to be out here and be like Kim Kardashian, then I'm not. And it's this cycle of what's wrong with me.
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
So is there any other type of policies you think that could implement from that perspective? She's like, nah, y'all, just stay off the social media.
I was like, you know, yes. But at the end of the day, people are adults, they're grown, they're going to do what
they're going to do.
And now it's such a perception that's been created, or this social media, how you can just build this total brand off of looking a certain way. You know, if I'm an influencer, why do I have to change that for your child?
For your child. No, I mean, no, they're
So I'm not saying that's a good thing, sorry to cut you off, but
just,
you know, I think that's kind of then that becomes the conversation.
So I do, in that perspective, I really do think it's a really good policy, especially for developmental stages. However, I would really encourage parents to kind of have those conversations kind of leading up. the cool thing is that with social media, as much exposure as we're getting, there are new movements that I think are breaking the wheel. Game of Thrones reference. In regards to what beauty is viewed as, period.
Yeah.
So there's the whole natural hair movement. Black women being able to embrace locks and different things. And for me, the natural hair movement isn't really in regards to, because sometimes the natural hair girls, like, I love y'all, but they be hardcore. Like, you can't, like, girl, you out here wearing a weave, and if you're not using pure pressed olive oil juice, you not really natural. Or I'm not natural because I color my hair. They be hardcore.
Right.
I love y'all, but hardcore. And my perspective is, I think the movement should be about just beauty in general. Mm-hmm. If you want to wear a weave, if you want to press your hair, if you want to wear locks, all of it is beautiful. Yes. So in the same vein, there's this whole body positivity movement that's kind of happening. So from a very definition perspective, body positivity has become a social movement rooted in the belief that all human beings should have a positive body image while challenging the ways in which society presents and views the physical body. One of probably my biggest people I love right now on the scene about body positive.
Yes.
The liquor. I will not the liquor, the wine, y'all. Let's go. Cheers. Cheers. Is Lizzo.
Okay, yes.
So I love Heart.
Yeah, she's pretty
Heart cool. You, Lizzo. She's very unapologetic about her body and what's beautiful.
And the dancers, sorry. Side note, the dancers, like, are naked, and I love it, and they get down. Like,
I love her. That's really what it's about. So, full circle. Being from the fashion industry, how does, is that still a thing in the industry to look a certain way and it is certain?
And that's, I feel like bad saying that, but it is very much so.
So, how does one, like, maneuver in that field?
So, it's so funny and interesting, like, sometimes your agent will tell you, especially if that's what makes the dollar, okay? But I think, most agencies are very flexible or okay with, if you gain a little bit, lose a little bit, change it. They just like to be aware of it. But,
hold up, rewind. No, but this is a thing. So, do you have to, like, look pretty in? Is it like what it is?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least not with mine. I don't know, whatever, we're not in New York now. I could be, but I haven't heard that. I don't know.
Okay, but as far as, like, you have to stay within a certain, like, range.
Most likely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, have you heard, and you don't have to be specific unless you want to, in, like, any stories, do you know of people that have, I would think that that's a big struggle.
It happened to me.
Well,
no, and it wasn't bad. Just at the time, I was, I'm getting directives, sorry.
Right. People are talking to us behind the scenes.
I was just in the process, kind of, getting a little older, getting a little comfortable, and I had a particular agent, and I worked a lot for her. And she was just honest, and she wasn't mean about it. She just kind of said, okay, honey, like, are you okay? What's going on? We need new photos. But
that's how she put it.
Yeah, but she was nice about it. She was really cool because I guess me and her kind of had a better relationship. But, somewhere in there, you can struggle mentally with that. Just kind of like, oh my gosh, am I not pretty enough? Will I not will I not work? Will I not do this? But at the same time, if you flip that, if it's part of your job to look a certain way, then you have to adjust. So, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I think a good perspective and kind of roundabout to, as new technologies and society progresses, I think, new movements and awareness kind of progresses as well.
Yeah.
So I understand from an agent level.
Right.
Because it's a business.
Right.
And not necessarily your perspective of, I'm going to take this stance and make this because it's a business, the brand wants certain things.
Right.
But I do think that the body positivity movement and people like Lizzo out here showing the fact that I can still speak to an audience. I can still be people that be a person that people want to look at or look up to or be aligned with.
And I'm still beautiful.
Beautiful. I think it starts to change brands and how they look at beauty, which thereby hopefully starts to change.
Yes.
That even starts to trickle down.
Yes.
So I would love to hear what you guys thought. Please comment, subscribe. We're going to do a recap. Would love to hear your thoughts in regards to it. If you have any ideas on, what's the movement? How can you be involved, or what do you think should be happening with body positivity out here? Especially, no shade to the guys, but guys have it too. Y'all have it too, but women, we have a very visual perspective. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yes, we did. We went a little serious today, but that was fine. It's sometimes. So before we wrap, we have to talk about Be Seen. So Be Seen is where you kind of like be seen on the scene in the streets around Detroit. And so this weekend, we have a really dope event. I think you might know about it.
Okay.
It's called The Social Runway.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
So that's one of our highlighted events, and it's this Sunday.
6 p.m. at Ford Field.
And is there a ticket cost? Or
there is. Tickets start just at $25.
That's what's up. That's totally doable.
And they can go to the website to purchase tickets, www.thesocialrunway.com, or on Eventbrite.
Is the link in your Instagram?
It is.
So if you go to and follow at The Social Runway, you can click the link in the bio, take you right to the tickets. Also, what's happening this weekend, and it's actually, let me make sure, it's today, is free. I like free, like free 99.
From downtown?
Yes, downtown, yes.
Okay.
It's perfect date night.
Perfect.
For, that guy. That guy we were talking about. It is Jazz at the DTE Beacon Park. Have you been there?
Yes.
It's so cute. It's
so
on
cute.
Cass and Grand Rivers, right on the corner. You can't miss it. Dope little event. It's a nice restaurant.
Yes.
Have you some Prosecco or some real liquor because it's after work. It happens today from 7 to 9. So go down there. It's a gorgeous day today. Summer is about to be gone. Please go enjoy it. Seriously, we got like 3 more days.
Yeah.
We have like 2 more days. So go down tonight. Tonight is the last night of summer. So thank you so much for being
having me
here. I really enjoyed you. So for you guys, please go and follow at The Social Runway. Don't forget, you can follow me at Chickdom, and then please follow the Michigan Chronicle on Instagram and on Facebook, and be sure to check out our stories about the community and the voice that is your voice, and our stories at www.michiganchronicle.com. Check us out next Friday at 1 p.m. where my guest is going to be one of my favorite little buzzy bees.
Yeah.
Brittany Brown of the Bee Agency will be here talking it up about all things Detroit and some pop culture and, of course, wine. See you next Friday.